Wakefield don't have the league's best players, but what they do have is great spirit, togetherness and a willingness to work for each other. Catalan have enough good players to be challenging the top four, but their attitude often lets them down, and that's why they are flirting with a bottom four finish.
There you go. Brian Davies said, excellent defensive effort by Trin as we made numerous mistakes early on to help Catalan's pinners on our line. Once we stopped the errors, we were excellent in attack. Tom Johnston was off after 10 minutes with a worrying knee injury, but Caton Brown took his chance in replacing him. Catalans had 3 in the bin for dissent and repeated offences. Trin made them pay each time they were a man down. Great afternoon.
Brian's
he's on his way to Australia.
Yeah. Doing what he does better than anyone and supporting rugby league everywhere.
Love him.
Wakey White says, Sacre Bleu. Cried the French outfit as Wakefield put them to the sword with a great second half performance. After a poor start, Wakey was 6-0 down but got their game sorted and ran out comfortable winners with a well-deserved hat-trick for Caton Brown. Hubie again was excellent with his offload game. Catalans were very poor. 3 players binned due to poor discipline, and Greg Bird looks more a pheasant.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, Greg Bird was back, but it didn't have the desired effect despite him, putting in a bit of a shift. Credit to Wakefield for adjusting to the injury early, although they did have an outside back on the bench, which obviously helped
massively
smooth that through. And then Caton Brown, he's looked good whenever he's had a wing opportunity in the last year, hasn't he?
Yeah,
not many opportunities, but he's looked flashy every time he's had a wing opportunity, whether it be back end of last year at Salford a couple of times, or at Wakefield this year.
No, I rate him. He's got some shoe, that kid. Definitely. Not much more to say about this, is there?
Don't have a lot more to say, sorry, no.
No, that's okay. What did the stats tell us then?
Wakefield actually made a few less metres, and what they made was at a slightly lower average gain. Although they did have 21 more tackle busts, 12 more successful offloads, 8-2 in clean breaks. Without the 12-8 error count, they probably would have been able to put up a bigger score, especially with Catalan's poor 88% tackle success, 7% lower than Wakefield, and the aforementioned trips to the bin.
That's what you occasionally get from a Catalan away journey, though, isn't it? Right, individually, who stood out for us then?
Mason Caton Brown with 3 tries, 174 metres, 4 clean breaks. Ben Jones Bishop with 2 tries, 187 metres, 2 clean breaks. So both wingers, in inverted commas, around Mason Caton Brown, obviously, did great work. Tinarau Arona, 43 tackles. Okay. Matt Ashurst, 1 try assist, 41 tackles. Joe Arundel, 1 try assist, 5 tackle busts, 109 metres.
What about Le Frogs then, who stood out for them?
Tony Gigo, a try assist and 110 metres. Sam Mauer, 136. Remy Casty, 107. Greg Bird, 125. And Ben Garcia, 102. So, like I sort of alluded to in the overall stats, making ground wasn't the problem. It was
execution.
It was stopping Wakefield from scoring and stopping players from leaving the field for no good reason.
Maybe try and keep your players on the pitch, kids. Right, so what does all that mean for the overall league standings then?
Cass retained top spot with a 1-point lead from Hull FC. Salford are up into 3rd with Leeds 4th as Wigan drop out of the top 4. The only movement at the bottom...
For those of you listening and wondering why Mark sounded incredulous, he had written Wigan drop out of the top 10.
Drop out of everything.
Shades of 2006, Mark.
The only movement at the bottom of the table is Huddersfield up a spot to 10.
And what about our predictions? Super Brew and Dream Team upstage. Let's talk about predictions.
Yeah, you went well, I went garbage. 2 out of 6.
So you take the lead again.
2 out of 6 for me, 5 out of 6 for you. That means that you overall on the cumulatives jump ahead 44 picks correct to my 43. You didn't actually put your Super Brew picks in there, did you?
No.
So that didn't help you. George Brown, who is playing from New Zealand, I don't know if he listens, get in touch if you do, George, who do you follow, etc. Won the yellow cap this week. Bruiser stays top though.
Okay, and what about the Dream Team?
Paul Wilson stays top with a decent lead despite getting that cut into a little by the following pack. Ryan Langdon had the best score of the round with 703. Well done, Ryan.
There you go. Okay, so that is Super League well and truly taken care of. Let's take a look now at some results from elsewhere in the world of rugby league. Okay, so it's results from elsewhere in the world of rugby league. Then it was round 12 of championship play in our second tier. Toulouse were 60 points to 4 winners of my Bradford Bulls. Mark, we even got some feedback on this.
Yeah, Mitch Dart said, love watching the highlights of Toulouse games, and this game had a bit of everything. Some pretty good attack, some ordinary defence, Cooney Minga going the length of the field to score, and a bashful streaker towards the end.
Bashful streaker?
Does that mean not nude?
I don't know.
I've trotted out the story a few times, haven't I, of the...
your Streaker story?
Of the Streaker at the well, it was the JJB back then.
It's worth retelling, though.
When Wigan played Widnes.
Right.
I think it might have ended up being... what's the name of that coach that we got from Cass? His last game, anyway. And Stuart...
Ray... No.
Yeah.
Stuart Raper?
Yeah.
There you
go. But anyway, this old lass, jumped over the hoardings just at the start of the kick-off, the second half, and did a clean run, fully nude, just all the way across and up the tunnel. No one stopped her because no one wanted to get near her.
Just let her go.
Yeah.
Run Forest, I suspect, was the overwhelming theory, though. Cheers for getting in touch, Mitchell. Certainly made my birthday weekend, that one. It was Dewsbury 24, Oldham 28.
That will help, though.
That will, yes. Featherstone Rovers 25, Sheffield Eagles 14. OKR were 24 points to 16 winners over the Rochdale Hornets.
Dr. Bob Phillips, who is now a Rochdale fan on the side, said, listening to this on Hull Radio, odd experience as I kept expecting them to order a run and cork. But and it was a scrappy penalty field, Sim being so to fair that everyone will be keen to forget. Marsh and Tate had good games for the Hornets, but KR were better in the end.
There you go. It was London 38, Swinton 28, and Halifax were 40 points to 22 winners over the Batley Bulldogs. So what does that do to the championship standings, Mark?
Yeah, well, Hull KR stay in top from Toulouse and Featherstone. Halifax cling to fourth despite recent London resurgence. Things at the bottom stay as was, with Bradford on -2, still 4 points off Dewsbury and 6 points off the safety spot.
Okay, it was League One Cup semi-finals this week, Mark, and there will be no Southern representation, which is a real shame from my point of view. But congratulations to Barrow, first of all, who were 64 points to 14 winners over Oxford, and North Wales, who were away at Gloucestershire and won 37 points to 28. And both those sides will contest the League One Cup final at Blackpool at the Summer Bash, Mark.
Yeah, we got plenty in on the second of those games, which it looks like it was goal kicking. Right. Poor start and goal kicking that let down our friends down in Gloucestershire. Anyway, at Eddington, Wake said, first half mistakes cost Gloucestershire dear, with gifting Wales not one but two 90-yard breakaway tries. We made a better fist of the second half, winning it 18-7, but too little too late. Never mind, who needs Blackpool when you have Western Supermare?
Yeah, they're very similar, I'm sure.
Lee Randall said, just wasn't to be today, kick-out goals... Sorry, just wasn't to be today, kick-out goals, we win 38-37. Good luck to Barrow and the Crusaders in the final. Me, Alan and Gavin will be there with you in Blackpool.
Yes.
What are you drinking? Let's beat York on Sunday. Come on, you all goals.
That'd be great. Looking forward to meeting you, gents.
We're drinking stadium-served lager on.
Absolutely. I like a Foster's. I don't know about you.
I don't know what it was. Was it Carling last
Foster's
year?
or Carling or something like that.
Alan Witt said, gutted to lose, but no complaints with the result. A poor first half put us on the back foot, and when you give away penalties with the ball in hand, you have issues. 6 tries each, but kicks missed for the all goals. We can score points, but we need to keep them out. Still, 2 semi-finals in a row, something to be proud of. Points to be had in the league now, and I can enjoy Blackpool from the start. Good times ahead. Come on, you all goals. Yeah, he's really carrying an emotional baggage every week with the all goals. I would have suggested taking a second team who maybe win a bit more games.
It would make you a bit happier. Yeah, exactly. I'm thoroughly enjoying.
If you're gonna be so devastated,
I'm thoroughly enjoying being a by proxy Cast fan at the minute. That's been great fun.
Well.
Big glory.
And I'm still thinking of asking Al to bring up an all goals jersey because they are quite nice, aren't they? Those blue with the blue V.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hunslet, League One, Tom.
Yes, round 3 of League One, a postponed fixture. I'm guessing it was Hunslet 18, Whitehaven 19. So it was a close run thing.
It was the controversially moved game for the cup game to be staged, wasn't it?
There you go. Into the NRL then, a couple of rounds to bring up to speed on. 2 fixtures left over from round 8 saw the Sydney Roosters defeat the St George Illawarra Dragons 13 points to 12. And that was a game where Gareth Willett sustained his injury that we talked about earlier in the news. It was Melbourne Storm 20, New Zealand Warriors 14. And then in the round 9 fixtures, Brisbane Broncos with 32 points to 18 winners over the Penrith Panthers. Souths were beaten at home 8 points to 46 in favour of the Manly Sea Eagles, Mark.
Yeah, Tom Burgess grabbed 112 metres. Sam Burgess also played but didn't put up his usual massive numbers. He did get off the charge. He was staring down the barrel of, so he is free to play for England.
Fantastic. It was the North Queensland Cowboys 6, Parramatta Eels 26. Gold Coast Titans were 38 points to 8 winners over the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, Dan Sargentson with 121 metres in another strong wing outing. In brackets, the Chris McQueen 156 metres.
He's getting in on England watch now.
Joe Greenwood, well, he is until they've played next week. Joe Greenwood with a try off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Wardle came off the bench for the Knights, did now. Yeah.
There you go. Not many people do out for the Knights.
No, it's not. It's not a Joe Wardle issue, is it?
It's a Knights issue, isn't it? Yeah. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs were 16 points to 10 winners over the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, Hyington came off.
No.
Oh, we're not onto that one yet. Sorry. James Graham left early with a head knock, so they're sweating on whether he'll be good to go for England. Hodgson with a try. Whitehead played 2 for the Raiders, but they were unable to get over the Bulldogs.
There you go. West Tigers were defeated 16 points to 22 by your Premiers, the Cronulla Sharks.
And this is where Hyington came off the bench, but didn't put up big numbers, the old fella. Alan Walker got in touch, though, to talk about another old fella. He said, good to see Gal come out for the second half after getting shot by a sniper at Leichhardt. Diving getting worse. Hashtag Logie for Gal. I don't suppose you'll have seen this, will you? Have you seen any of the sort of fallout from it?
Not really, no.
The Tigers had what was a perfectly good James Tedesco try ruled out because at the play of the ball, the guy playing the ball barely put his arm sort of half across Paul Gallen, who then went flinging to the floor.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, not a fan of that. I like Paul Gallen as well.
There was more contact on Marcus Rashford and whoever the other person accused of diving was yesterday.
Okay. That's a football joke.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, New Zealand Warriors then went on to be defeated. We talked about that, and we talked about...
No. These were the other games.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
New
Same two teams that played on the Tuesday played on the Sunday.
I'm with you.
Against the other people.
Warriors were 14 points to 13 winners over the Sydney Roosters.
A dramatic last-minute penalty was given by your mate Ashley Clown.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm sure he got that right on the night. And it was St George Illawarra Dragons 22, Melbourne Storm 34. So what does that do to the standings down under?
Well, Storm are top with a 4-point lead now, so that's opening out. Dragons, Sharks, Broncos, Roosters are the closest in behind. The Cowboys are out of the top 8 and the Knights stay rooted to the bottom.
Shockers. Okay, Al Walker's got in touch with his Mark.
Yeah, this was about the Le Magique weekend in France. So he's talked mostly about the Carcassonne versus Saint-Estèphe Trezon. How do you say 13? Trez Catalan. He says Les Baby Drax showed the A-team how to do it by beating Carcassonne in the last game of Le Magique weekend. Carcassonne's a great place to watch rugby league. If the French calendar does get changed to match ESL, it'll make it easier to give these Zavals more runs out in the big league. Lesnion beat Limoux in the other big match of Le Magique weekend. Yeah, it's sort of the end of the season, weren't it? They're talking about moving League One to February, from February to July, August time, rather than the current sort of September, October to May. Okay. April, May.
Which would make sense, wouldn't it?
But the other divisions below won't follow suit, which doesn't make sense. Anyway, not a lot of actual importance on the league table in this one. This was the only game, this Carcassonne against Catalan one, that actually saw players teams swap positions. Just meant that their home playoff games are against different teams than they would have been if it had gone the other way. No one else changed in the table. Right. So it's on to the playoffs in France.
On to the playoffs. Okay, that's the world of rugby league well and truly covered. Let's take a look now as we bring you our predictions for the internationals and round 13 of Super League. So, 2 predictions then. We're bringing you a lot of thoughts and insight into some different games this week because there is an international weekend coming up, Mark. Australia play New Zealand in the Anzac Test. What do you reckon? We're just going to pick winners, aren't we?
Traditionally, Australia win this one, don't they?
They do.
I think, they're gearing up for a farewell tour, aren't they, for the legends of that side, the legendary playmakers. So, Australia.
Yeah, I can't see much further than an Australia win, fairly hefty as well, 20 points plus, I would say. PNG versus Tonga. Can the PNGians cause a bit of an upset against the Tongolese?
Well, I don't think PNG will be able to call on a Super League player like Aiton.
No.
who's I think would add a lot to that side. So